Hey you, how would you like to have a VIP day with me? So these VIP days are so transformational. They are literally a deep dive into your current brand visuals, your messaging, your strategy, your content pillars, reviewing all of those things that you are currently putting out there to your audience as that first impression. Now, first impressions are everything when it comes to the online world because people are scrolling and moving at a very fast pace. So you need to be standing out with magnetic scroll stopping visuals. So in these VIP days, I will be supporting you with reviewing your current brand content strategy, looking at your current brand visuals, and helping you to level up everything across your entire brand in terms of those visuals and also your strategy and messaging, and help you come away feeling fired up and ready to know how you can actually get those dream clients, those incredible opportunities and connections coming into your world. If you would like to find out more about booking a VIP day with me, send me a DM on Instagram at Jacquie Laws and just drop me a message saying VIP and let's chat and book in all the details. Speak to you soon and hope you enjoy this episode. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Becoming a Powerhouse Brand. I am so excited today because I have the beautiful Marley Rose Harris coming on. So Marley is an absolute breath of fresh air. And I've been in her world since the beginning of this year when I discovered her Money Mindset and Manifestation podcast, which is one of two podcasts I listen to religiously every single week. So if you don't already listen to it, make sure you go and check it out. So Marley's a business and money coach here to inspire others with a step-by-step process and feel like you've got that alignment in your business, helping you to really step into your highest self and to attract that vision board, make it into your reality. So she's an absolute queen, all things mindset, business strategy, but she's an absolute goddess when it comes to empowering you to create and live your dream life. So as you'll find it in this episode, Marley is just the most beautiful soul and who has a really warm heart and lovely energy. And I'm so excited to have her here on the podcast. So, Marley, welcome to the podcast. So excited to have you here.
Oh my God, thank you for the nicest intro ever. My face was like hurting from smiling so
Ah,
hard. So sweet. Thank you.
no worries. So, before we dive in, could you tell us a little bit about your story, how you've become an absolute powerhouse in what you are doing today?
Yes, I feel like my journey starts similar to most people on their, journey and their, I call it like their quote unquote hero's journey. So I am from Canada. I'm from a very, very small town. It's literally like a stop sign. And I always grew up with this dreaming of more, wanting more, dreaming bigger, and almost feeling like claustrophobic where I lived. I also hate winter. Like, I'm a plant. I thrive in sunshine. I want to be next to the ocean, on the beach, next to palm trees. That is me at my happiest. And so I always grew up struggling with digestion and skin, like acne all over my face and anxiety. And then whenever I'd go to the ocean, it would all clear. And I'm like, okay, I need to leave Canada. So my journey started with this mission and this dream to just be able to work from anywhere from my laptop. I saw some people doing this. This was like back in 2019. So the big boom of like working from home hadn't started yet. And I didn't really know anyone else doing it. The word digital nomad like wasn't even a term yet. But I just like saw people, I saw like one person online doing it. And I read The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. So I was like, if they can do it, so can I.
Yeah.
So I started my first business really just from this place of like, I want time, location, financial freedom. I want to be able to work from anywhere. I want to live in sunshine. And that was it. Like, it wasn't anything more than that. And I'm obviously skipping the highs and lows, but I started that business. And a year later, when I started that business, I really started diving into all things personal development, meditation, podcasts. I feel like once you become an entrepreneur and you find the world of podcasting, it's like, oh, it's like all the things I like never knew existed. I was learning so much. I was being so expanded beyond like what I even thought was possible. And I started to meditate and do gratitude journaling, and my life dramatically improved, like massively. And I just started my business. So I was a baby entrepreneur. I was still living in Canada. And the same year that I started my business, I also lost my father, and my dad committed suicide. And this was the beginning of my, people call it like spiritual awakening. Some people call it like the rock bottom. It was the moment for me that the impossible happened, and it fundamentally in all areas changed every facet of my life. When that moment happened, I said to myself, I am not going to let this break me. I am going to let this make me. I will never forget it. Because like when you're from a small town, things like this, actually, I would say even in most areas, like this is just wasn't common. I didn't know anyone who had done this before. I didn't even really know like what, I was like so shocked. I was not prepared for that at all. And I decided from that moment, I mean, previously I didn't have, I always had struggled with mental health and anxiety and depression, but our family never had the means to afford therapy. So I'd never been to therapy. I never healed any of those, mental health struggles. But because of what had happened, the government then funded me to go to therapy. So I went for therapy for the first time in my life. And like just by synchronistic events, I also started going to Reiki. So I started to heal for the very first time in my life. And like before, when I was doing meditating, I called that like surface level healing. I was like, skimming the surface. I had changed my like a lot about how I felt, but I wasn't getting to any deep rooted wounds. So through this healing journey is when I would say like my life started. When I actually started to address the deeper wounds, the deeper fears, the deeper, scared inner child, is when I started to become me. And I did grow that first business to multiple six figures. I was living in Australia. I was traveling the world. Everyone was like, Marley, how are you doing what you do? This is incredible. And on the outside, I was earning all this money. It was incredible. But on the inside, I was miserable because I wasn't following my soul purpose. I was following
Yeah.
something that I could do, not something that I wanted to do anymore. And so at the beginning of 2021, I pivoted. I just completely shut down that business and I started what I do now, which is helping people create a life beyond their wildest dreams and really helping entrepreneurs grow their business by healing their fears around money and self-worth. So what I noticed when I started to heal myself, I was like, well, if all this stuff is working on my mental health, surely this will work on my money. And so I started to apply everything that I was learning on my money mindset and on my self-worth. And then my business, went from, $10,000 a month to $60,000 a month to $100,000 a month. And everything just kept growing. And everyone's like, Marley, how are you doing this? So then I started to teach people what I was doing and not following this like logical masculine strategy to scaling your business, really coming from intuition and clearing fears, because I'm sure as your listeners know, your reality is a reflection of your beliefs. So if we change your beliefs, we can change your reality in all facets of life. And it's how I've been able to completely transform every area of my life through healing limiting beliefs, rewiring my subconscious mind. So now my mission is to help anyone who is looking to transform their life, transform it through the way of healing their limiting beliefs so that they can attract into life what they truly desire. And I feel like when I first started this journey, I couldn't even have conceptualized how good life gets on the other side of healing your limiting beliefs.
Amazing. Yeah. And it's so true, isn't it? So, talking about the subconscious mind, it's something that is so overlooked, particularly as us business owners, that it's one of those things, if you've never looked at healing or your past, like why you've got those limiting beliefs and everything, it's something that you can overlook really easily. And yet it actually controls so much of our reality. So how do you actually how do you build this relationship and discover that actually you've got this sort of subconscious mind that is controlling so much of your success? So if you are feeling a bit stuck right now, that's probably the first place to be starting.
Yes. So the first step is definitely awareness. So for some people listening, they might not know what the subconscious mind is. For others listening, they might be well aware of it. This subconscious mind is the part of your brain that stores your beliefs, your long-term memories. It is your, what I like to call like your computer system. So it's holding all of the programming. It's holding everything that you've been taught, everything that you've learned, how to speak a language, how to keep your body alive. It's like your computer processor that's processing your entire life. Now, if you are listening and there's something in your life that you keep attracting in that you no longer want to attract in, and you cannot figure out why, and you keep blaming it on your lack of productivity, your lack of focus, your lack of worth, your lack, all these things that your ego likes to tie and make excuses for. It's actually not that. It's not that you're not meant for greatness. It's not that you're not meant to be successful. It's none of that. It's the fact that you have a limiting belief, or you have a program in your subconscious mind that is running and creating this as your reality. So that's why when lottery winners win all this money and then lose it, it's because they weren't programmed for wealth. So they physically cannot hold on to the wealth. That's why you break up with one man and then you attract a new man and he's the exact same. That's why when you get a promotion at work, and no matter how much promotions you get, you have the still same amount of money in your bank account, no matter how many new clients, no matter how many new launches, because this is your program. This is your financial comfort zone. And this is programmed into your subconscious mind as your normal. So anything outside of that, you will cool back down, or you will push away, or you will self-sabotage, because subconsciously that's just what is normal and safe for you. Even though consciously you want the $10,000 in the bank account, you want the $50,000 business launch, but if it's not safe for your subconscious mind, your brain will do everything to push it away because it deems it as danger.
Yeah. So if you've got that, if you've got those in your subconscious mind, if you've got that thing that is holding you back, can you actually rewire your subconscious mind? How do you do that?
This is like truly my life's work. When I started learning about the subconscious, I was like, okay, I get it, but why is no one teaching me how to change my limiting beliefs? Like, it kept pissing me off. Like, I kept taking all these books, taking all these courses. I'm like, okay, but like, how do I actually rewire? So over the past 5 years, I have become obsessed. I'm a Capricorn manifesting generator. So like when I get onto something, I am onto it. And I over the past 5 years have developed this formula called clearing the fear. So essentially, what you have to do, and in order to rewire and reprogram your limiting beliefs, your brain has to go back to the moment that you create the belief. So if we're using a computer program as the example, we have to find the code. When you're coding, I don't know if you've ever coded before, but if you need to change a code, you can't just like implement a new code under it. You have to go back to where that code line is and recode it. So just like your brain, your subconscious mind has a memory of every single moment. And there's an exact moment in your life, and most oftentimes between the ages of 0 and 7, we go back to that exact moment and we actually rewire it. So we rewrite the story, we recode the event so that your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. So when we recode it, it rewrites the program in your mind. And that's actually what my entire app is about, and what my new certification program is about, is teaching you. And the app, you use all these tracks to go back and rewrite the event so that your brain no longer fears that. It sees that moment as actually a very positive thing. So I can share an example, because people, if you're just hearing about this, you might be like, what is this lady talking about? So I'm just thinking of a recent clearing I did. Okay, so one of my clients was constantly in overdraft in her she's an entrepreneur, she's doing extremely well, like making like 7,000 pounds a month. She just started, she's doing really well, but she's always in overdraft. No matter how much money she kept making, she was always in overdraft. So I was like, okay, there is some sort of block around being in overflow. Something in her brain, there's some sort of hidden advantage for her to staying in overdraft, because that's her comfort zone. That's her financial safety zone. So I was like, this is so interesting. Why is her brain keeping her in overdraft? And why does her brain think that's the safest way to be? So we went into her timeline and we did the clear the fear method. And we went back into her past. And when she was really young, like I asked her to bring up this fear of being an overflow. In her body, we can access any feeling associated, every belief has a feeling associated with it. So when you ask your body to bring up a belief, you can bring up that feeling. Like if I ask yourself, okay, like think about looking at your bank account. If that brings you anxiety, even if you're not looking at your bank account, you can still feel the anxiety. Or if I tell you to like think about a lemon and think about sucking on a lemon and a juicy lemon, your brain will actually, or sorry, your mouth will actually start to produce saliva. So, anyways, so we went back into her timeline and we established that at that moment that she created that belief, she was on the playground and all of her friends were making fun of the other kids with money, being like, oh, they're bad people, look at them, they're bad. And then her little child brain went, oh, having money is bad. If I have money, then children, my friends are going to leave me and think poorly of me. Boom, belief was created. So in that moment, we rewrote the story. So it was a positive, enlightening thing, saying, so like we basically rewrote the story of like her friends were like, oh my God, how amazing. This is so inspiring that these parents have, we rewrote the story. She's never been in overdraft since.
Amazing.
So when you rewrite the story, you rewrite your life.
I love that. And I love the Higher Self app. If you haven't got it, guys, I'll put the link in the show notes so you can go and check that out. So Marley's got this incredible, like literally clearing your beliefs and all these amazing like mindset, manifestation tools and everything. It is definitely an app that you want to go and check out. So go and do that. But it's so incredible that the first time I ever went through it and did this clearing your limiting belief, I was like, what the hell? Like going above myself and going back. And I was like, this just feels really alien, but it's so weird because your brain like knows what to do. It's the
Mhm.
most bizarre thing. And one of the things that I know, like a lot of the people I work with are looking to scale their business. So maybe they've hit like consistent 10K, 30K months or whatever, but they're just feeling that bit of, I need to do more, but I don't know what that is. And a lot of the time they do have this sort of mindset block in terms of like a limiting belief that's holding them back, thinking they're maybe not good enough, or maybe they're not worthy of that next level success. How do you actually identify? Maybe a limiting belief that's coming up? Like, is there something that you will sort of feel in yourself? Is it like an emotion, or yeah, how do you know what your limiting beliefs are?
Such a good question. Again, that whole process is in the Higher Self app. So thank you for sharing that. But here's what it comes down to. If you are not getting to your next level, there is some sort of hidden advantage of not getting there. There's some sort of association that your brain has made to getting to that next level that is scary, that is dangerous. So your brain will do everything to block out all ideas, all people, all situation, all circumstances. It will filter it out so that you don't get there. Right. So I'll give you a personal example. So I was really wanting to break through $100,000 cash month. I had done it a couple of times, but then I was like, why am I not hitting this consistently? What is happening? So I knew that because I wasn't doing it consistently, that means there was some sort of subconscious threat to doing it. Okay. So I knew there was some sort of hidden advantage for me not getting there. So I took my journal and myself to the beach and I was like, I am not leaving this beach until I figure this out. So I was journaling and I wrote down, okay, why is hitting $100,000 a month scary to me? What am I going to lose? Who am I going to lose? What responsibilities am I going to have to take on? Why is it easier to stay where I am? I just started journaling. I started journaling. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose. These are specific prompts that are also in the app, but these are prompts that I use to uncover the hidden advantage. I was like, oh my gosh, I just realized that I am so scared to lose my boyfriend because I'm scared if I hit $100,000 a month, it's going to make him leave me. I was like, what? Again, your beliefs are never logical. They're never going to make sense. It is some sort of illogical association that your brain has made up. So like, that is fascinating. So I opened up my app and I did clear the fear and I went back and I brought up this fear. Like I could feel it in my body of fearing losing him when I think about like making money. Like I could bring that feeling up in my body. And I went back to the very first time that I felt this feeling. And as a child, when my dad started to earn money, it took him out of the house. He actually started working abroad. He worked in like in mining around the world. So my baby brain made this association that when you start to earn money, it means that people leave you. And so I was then projecting that fear onto my boyfriend and then was blocking my next level. So obviously that's my story. And for every single person, it's different. But I will say, if you're an entrepreneur that isn't able to break through, it's typically because there's some sort of loss or threat. No, it's 100% associated with some sort of loss or threat of getting to that next level. So if you're listening, take yourself through that practice and say, okay, what is the threat? What is the fear of getting to that next level? Who am I going to lose? What am I going to lose? And then go on and clear the fear, and then you will break through that. And then I went on to make $100,000 in 7 days after I did that.
Incredible. And
Yeah.
is this something, so like once you've cleared that limiting belief, is it something you need to keep doing, or is it just it's done?
Okay, the way I like to describe this is when you clear the belief, you've transmuted energy. So energy has shifted. When you come back and you try to check into that old feeling, it's gone. Like you cannot access it. Either you can't access it, it's completely gone, or you would just notice it looks different. Because when I ask you to access the feeling, I'll be like, okay, what does it look like? What's the color? And then when you come back and you're like, it's either like melted or it's flowy, or I just can't, it's just gone. So it's completely transmuted. So if you were having a conversation with a butterfly and a butterfly was like, holy shit, I really hope I don't go back to a caterpillar. You're like, it's okay, baby. It's impossible for you to go back to a caterpillar. Or if a baby gets birthed and then the baby's like, I really hope I don't go back in the womb. It's like, it's actually physically impossible for you to go back in the womb. Or if a plant sprouts out of the ground, it's like, I really hope I don't become a seed again. I'm like, it's impossible. Nothing in nature goes back. Once the energy has been transmuted, it cannot go back. So I think our society has created this ideology of like, okay, see you next week and we'll talk about it next week, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously, with that business structure, if people don't come back, how are they going to make money, right? I'm not in the business for you to become a crutch. I don't want this app to be a crutch for your healing. I want it to be the solution to your healing. I think I'm not going to like call out any industry, but I think there's some industries that put themselves as crutches and make them dependent on your healing. That's not healing. That's a band-aid solution. And I don't want band-aid solution that keeps you stuck in the healing process. I want you to be healed. Like in the past. You are transmuted. That energy is transmuted. So there's nothing else to do. You don't have to do anything else. You just get to exist and now attract with your upgraded brain and your new software, and you just get to start to enjoy life, because life is way too short to be sitting in the trauma, to be keeping to go back and keep reliving. Like you don't have to do that. You can literally clear a belief or clear a fear in less than 10 minutes, and that's what I'm in the business for, is helping you actually heal.
Yeah, and it's so crazy, isn't it, that so many of us, like I'm 38, and there were beliefs that I had before finding your app that I was like, oh my God, these have just been like things going around in my head my entire adult life. Like, how have I never even thought of doing this? And you don't realize that it comes from childhood. Like, and it might be a little like some of the things that came up for me was a conversation that I didn't even realize I was aware of. Like, it's just the weirdest things or comments that happened. And yeah, it's crazy when you go back to that, and it literally does like that block that you didn't even realize was there before is just gone. Like it feels different. It's a whole energy shift, isn't it?
Yeah, like I was thinking about this today. Like, you never stop healing. You never stop growing. Even though I teach this stuff, I am in the industry, I am a practitioner of it. I am still healing myself, obviously, but it's so cool for me to look back at things that used to plague my mind. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't even think about that anymore. Like that doesn't affect me at all anymore. I used to be so stressed about this, so anxious about this. Like there was a point in my life where like I didn't even look in the mirror. That's how much I hated myself. And now I look in the mirror and like I speak so positively about myself. I'm like, holy fuck. Because it's you can often get caught up in saying, oh my gosh, I still have so much to heal. There's still so much to do. And that is obviously true, because we're here on earth, and you never stop healing, you never stop growing. But it's more empowering to look back and say, look how far I've come, and look at everything that I've already been able to shift. So I can, if I can shift from that, then like I can shift from anything.
Amazing. And I think this doesn't even work just for business, is it? This can literally will change your life in all aspects. I know you've talked about your skin and you've attracted your partner and you got your Forbes feature, like just some incredible things that have happened just from having that belief and clearing any blocks and just focusing on like what bringing that vision board to reality. And I just think like the sky is the limit, isn't it? Is there even a limit? Like I
I
feel
love
like
that saying. I love that saying. One of the mentors that I really look up to, her name is Melanie and Lair, and she says the sky isn't even the limit. And I'm like, woo,
yeah,
yes.
you can literally do anything. So what is next for you? Like you're obviously everybody is always growing all the time. Like, I think it's really important to make sure that we are always breaking through that confidence barrier and just smashing through those glass ceilings that we set for ourselves. So what is your next sort of big expansion for you?
Oh, I just have chills as you asked me that. So much. I feel like from a business lens, um, I'm going all in on this clear the fear method. It's going to be my TED Talk, my book, my certification program. I want to help other coaches help their clients clear limiting beliefs because I'm only one person. Like I work one-to-one with clients and I am a like I create massive transformation in their lives, which is the coolest thing. But I can only help so many people in a day. So to be able to help other practitioners help their clients is like, wow, so exciting to me. So helping others help their clients clear their fears, obviously growing the app to become like a household name, helping the world heal on and like get to root cause healing and actually create transformation in their lives. And just growing the brand to really reach a worldwide audience to be able to help people all over the world heal.
I love
And on a personal note, I feel like I'm constantly striving to be better in all areas. And sometimes that can lead to a lot of pressure that I put on myself. But it's about actually balancing the desire to be great in all areas and also not to pressure myself to be perfect in all areas. So working with mentors, working and constantly improving myself, educating myself, um, to become the version of me who like I'm meant to be, like my highest potential, and never settling, never thinking small, and always focused on dreaming big. I'm at a really interesting stage of my life where I've never felt like this content before. I've never been so happy and content. Um, and and for the first time, I'm like, okay, I think I can actually like slow down. Like I'm good. But then I'm like,
yeah.
no, no, I have lives to heal. So I'm like in this interesting phase of like, I'm not running from pain anymore. And now I just get to exist in pleasure and grow from pleasure, which is a really incredible, fortunate, beautiful place to be in.
I love that. And like you say, pleasure attracts as well. Like your energy, when you're feeling good and you're literally in your higher self, you do attract, like you attract not just clients and money, but opportunities as well. They're going to help you to grow personally as well as in your business. Yeah, I think it's really amazing. But please do go and check out Marley's app, Higher Self. It is so good. And it's something like I listen to the sleep one. I listen to that every single night. I just have my headphones plugged in, get into bed. I'm just like, yep, sorry. I'm not going to talk to you. It's like, I'm just plugging into this. It's amazing.
Oh my God,
Um,
I love you that. Thank you.
so do go and check that out. Marley, you've got a money challenge as well, haven't you?
Yes. So, because most of the women that I work with want to heal their money mindset, I create a 7-day money challenge. I don't know what is in this thing, but every time I do it, there's some sort of magic that happens. So it's basically 7 days of walking you through how to rewire your subconscious mind, clear any blocks, any limiting beliefs that you have around money to attract financial abundance and freedom. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, this will help you. But if you're an entrepreneur, you're definitely going to want to do this because on the other side of the 7-day challenge, people have manifested $10,000, like literally random checks in the mail. I know we hear about that in the movies, but like random checks in the mail, like it's insane. So it's so much fun, and yeah, it's just absolutely free.
Yeah, amazing. So I'll pop the link for that below as well. Where can we also find you? Where can we connect with you?
So you can find me at Marley Rose Harris on TikTok and Instagram. I'm really active mostly on Instagram. And then you can find me on my podcast at the Money Mindset Manifestation Show.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on, Marley. It's been lovely to have you on the podcast. And please, guys, if you've loved this episode, make sure that you drop myself and Marley a message. Let us know what you thought of it and go and check out that app and also that 7-day money challenge. And I will see you on another episode soon. Thanks so much, Marley.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of building your own personal brand, head over to my website, baileyandrue.com, where you can grab my free Brand Brilliance Blueprint today. It's your roadmap to success in the world of branding. And hey, let's stay connected beyond the podcast. Follow me on Instagram at baileyandrue for daily inspiration, behind the scenes insights, and exclusive content to fuel your brand journey. See you there.